ATV, the one shock was completely loose, and that's the one I rebuilt, or I took it apart and cleaned it and put it back together. The person that bought this four-wheeler, I'm surprised this four-wheeler's any good. Then I'll go back and I'll have to go in and count how many ribs there are, and then once I ride this, I'll be able to reset it. But pretty good, except for you put the whole strut on backwards. Oh my god. Okay, back again, and I've been working out here all day for about 12 hours trying to shoot these videos, getting this ATV back together, and I actually went ahead and totally disassembled and cleaned this shock up. And I was gonna clean this other shock up, but I thought I better come out here and make another video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna disassemble this. This is not a rebuild video. This is not taking the strut apart, putting nitro in it, recharging it, rebuilding all the internal seals. This is just, we're just gonna clean this thing up. Okay, so I've got my little bucket set up, and I've got some Amsoil heavy duty cleaner here, and we're just going to spray this down. I have disassembled some of the parts out of this, but this degreaser, well, I just want to let it set for a couple minutes, and then I'll come back and do some scrubbing on it. And see, this bushing and these rubber eyelets are stuck in there. See if we can spray it down and get it kind of loosened up here, and then I'll disassemble this shock. When I first disassembled the front of the ATV, the one shock was completely loose, and that's the one I rebuilt, or I took it apart and cleaned it and put it back together, and actually it still was working. So yeah, well, I'm going to try to clean these up so at least it looks good. So we'll just let that set for a couple minutes. I'll come back and scrub it, respray it, and then I'll disassemble it and clean up some parts. Okay, so we'll kind of get this. God, this piece is, oh dude, the person that bought this four-wheeler, I'm surprised this four-wheeler's any good. I can't even get, these parts are so, actually I did clean these up. I ran these on the copper brass wheel. I just cannot get that loose. That's stuck. Just a picture of that not moving. Man, that thing is stuck. Oh my god. I mean, it is not moving at all. I'm gonna have to spray it. Okay, so it's been a few minutes here. I'm just gonna scrub this. I couldn't get the eyelets down here undone too. I'm gonna see if I can pull them apart. Or not. Man, I'm getting tired of taking this four-wheeler apart. I mean, dude, I've replaced, everything. That son of a bitch is stuck too. Look at that. Look how rusted that is. And these eyelets, if you damage them, these son of bitches are about $40 or $50 from Polaris. There's really not an aftermarket set that you can buy. Look at the inside of that. Again, we're just going to let this set. Actually, I'm going to loosen the plastic collar. car if I can get a grip on it. There we go. Come on. Go ahead and get this collar off. We'll take that to the bench grinder as well. Go ahead and remove the spring. And there's two plastic pieces here. They break in half. So don't break those. You're going to need those. Take the spring out. See, I couldn't clean that. The other one cleaned up pretty well. It just took quite a while to do it. And really what the key here is to agitate it and then respray it. Go ahead and remove the plastic collar. Spray this all down again, and then scrub it. We're going to go ahead and scrub these two plastic pieces. There's not a whole lot I can do. I'm not going to turn on the ultrasonic parts cleaner that you see next to the bin for a couple plastic pieces. Plus, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm definitely not supposed to put shocks and struts in that thing. Okay, so we're gonna scrub the springs down. Well, actually, we're not gonna scrub the springs down. We're just gonna kind of wipe them. Get the preload spring here. Then after the heavy duty cleaner, you just want to spray it with water. It cleaned up pretty good. It ain't gonna be new, but it'll be a lot better than it was. Okay. We're going to come in and I'm going to kind of scrub this down again. Yeah, you really kind of got to let the degreaser soak and do its job. And you don't want to use a steel brush on this if you take these apart, because the top of this body is aluminum and the bottom strut part is actually steel. So this is a nylon brush, and then I was using a brass brush. And the bottom part on the other one, I couldn't get it real clean. I could take it over to the bench grinder, but the problem is that if I take the the coating off of it, then it'll rust. So that's probably about as good as I'm going to be able to get it, which is much better. There's already some corrosion that's starting on the steel. So we're just going to spray this down with water now, and it's going to neutralize the additive in the heavy duty industrial AMSOIL, the greaser. I'll put a link below. It's really good stuff. I've used it on the four-wheeler, and it actually didn't strip paint. So, and as you can see, it didn't actually take the sticker off. The sticker was a little rough, but yeah, we'll go over. I'll clean them parts up on the eyelets, the bushings, and then I'll reassemble this over here on this butcher block bench. Okay, so I've got my parts and pieces here, and safety glasses. You're not going to be able to see me in the shot. And I'm just going to clean these pieces up. Okay, now that we have everything pretty much cleaned up and dried off, we're going to go ahead and put this back together. First things first is our clamp for our spring. I don't believe this spring can go on either way, the way it's made. I don't believe it needs to be one way or the other. Then we're just going to put our plastic collars on and put our preload spring on over that. We're going to run our plastic collar all the way down until we get tension. And then I'll go back and I'll have to go in and count how many ribs there are, and then once I ride this, I'll be able to reset it. But until we get a little resistance. There we go. Okay. Well, a lot of people aren't going to like what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going to grease all these pieces going in. So if these ever get removed again after I grease these, the next person, or if I decide to keep this, will not have any issues here. So I'm just going to come in and this will actually more than likely stop the rust in this bottom side as well by coating this in grease. Same thing on the top. Not the rust, but and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grease. I don't have any silicone spray, otherwise I would have just sprayed this. And we're going to put one eyelet in at a time here. We'll move down to the back side. Now with our bare metal here, since I didn't want to pay, Polaris's prices, dude, are freaking crazy for all the replacement parts. It's just insane. You'd think I was buying Ducati parts. Go ahead and push that in. Actually, that one went in pretty good, pretty smooth. Not going in smooth. Ugh. We'll do the top one here. This grease, man, you start messing with this stuff, it's a mess. Everything you touch is going to be a mess. Now I will tell you that the part numbers are the same for the top and the bottom eyelets in the Polaris order form. So man, that one does not want to go in. Okay, now we'll go back to the quad and get it all set up here. And now we are going to reinstall the shocks. Man, painting these A-arms was a mistake. Pushing those ball joints in there because I painted the inner part of the A-arms. And then if you haven't watched that video, you gotta watch that video. I actually put the ball joints in the top of the A-arms backwards and have to come back and reinstall. It's just, man. Trying to get the best angle I can get here. What we're gonna do also is these are the eyelet bushings. I forgot to grease them, so I'm gonna have to go wipe my hands off after I'm done here. But we're just going to push them inside the eyelets. That's where our bolt is going to go into. And there's a little movement on these, not a whole heck of a lot, so they just need to pivot and not rust. Then these are our bolts, and I'm going to go ahead and grease those as well. We're not going to torque this out. There's going to be another A-arm video for the front end eventually, so keep watching and then we'll get that all set up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and attach our front part first. Come on now. Our front bolt. We're not going to go tight. We're just installing this. And then this is going to pull the A-arm up. And I can't remember. I think it was like this. And it went around. There we go. Get our bolt in there. So we're just gonna hand tighten. When I come back and tighten this up, we'll probably Loctite this. And I know I already greased all the other side, so I'm gonna put this grease up. Okay, now we're on the other side here, so we'll go ahead and get it installed as well, and we will put the top bolt in first, just like we did on the other side. And now we're gonna line up the bottom here. Oh, probably gonna have to move this. Put the bottom one in. Hey, there we go. Looks pretty good. Pretty good, except for you put the whole strut on backwards. Oh my God, I've had it. I've had it. The intro. If you couldn't tell by the intro, I'm stressed out. I've got not too far away from me. The town that I live in, the rural town, is just riddled with drug-infested people. The cops, we don't have any cops around here. I shouldn't say, but the county has a special drug task force people that, you know, they don't have time to deal with these. They've got to deal with the whole fucking county. It's not a good deal. The schools are having problems. And if there's gunshots, I'll be honest with you, let them kill each other. The problem is when they're shooting these fucking guns off down the street, they're not fucking hitting nothing. And then that's when they're, as a neighbor, that's when the poor kids that have nothing to do with this shit get involved and end up getting hurt and shit. It's like I gotta run that caliper, you know? When you start hearing gunshots and then the next day they're like, well, there was gunshots in the neighborhood. If anybody has any information, we'd really like to know. The big problem is that the people shooting the guns off, they're not hitting nothing. And when they're not hitting nothing, that's when innocent bystanders like myself or one of my neighbors has problems. And around here, we don't just live in a big city. We actually talk to our neighbors, and you know what the hell's going on in our communities. So, okay, I'm not sure if I got that brake set up properly. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Next week's video, I do have some brand new calipers, so we'll try to get to that. But next week's video, I think we'll go ahead and I've got to put new bearings in on the wheel hubs. So those need new bearings. Go ahead and get the bearings, get the new disc brakes put on, EBC disc brakes, performance brakes. You want to go fast, you need to upgrade your brakes so you stop faster. But stay tuned. Been real stressful lately. Everybody's stressed out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Check the playlist below. Any purchases from the links below help me going. I need to get this thing out of here. That Falco I bought only runs 142 miles an hour. I can't remember if the guy lowered the sprocket one tooth or not, so I got to try to figure that out. But yeah, I'm out of here.